All right, let's just jump right in. We've all had that feeling, right? That little moment of panic. It's a homeowner's absolute worst nightmare. You hear a sound, you see a little puddle, and then, bam, your home, your sanctuary is suddenly under attack. And the attacker? Water. The very thing your house is supposed to keep out. It's pure chaos, super stressful, but believe it or not, there's a professional playbook for fighting back.
So what do you do? I mean, in that first critical hour, it's so easy to just panic. But what you do right then and there, that can be the difference between a quick fix and a total disaster. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to walk through that professional playbook step by step and see exactly how the pros turn that chaos back into control. Okay, first things first. We have to understand what we're really up against. Because, a flood, it's not just about the puddle on your floor. Oh, no. It is way more complex and honestly, way more dangerous than that. And that right there is the key. The real damage, it's happening where you can't even see it. It's creeping inside your walls, seeping under your floors, getting deep into the bones of your house. What you see on the surface, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
To make this totally clear, let's zoom in on a real-world example. We're looking at a case study from Sterling Heights, Michigan. It is a perfect example of how local stuff, things you probably never even think about, can come together to create the perfect storm for water damage.
So check this out. This is where it gets really interesting. It's how all these different things stack up. You've got this heavy clay soil that doesn't let water drain away, right? So it's basically creating a bathtub around your foundation. Then you throw in those brutal Michigan winters that are constantly freezing and thawing, cracking that concrete. On top of that, the city's water pipes are old and could burst any time. And inside the house, well, you've got galvanized pipes from the 70s that are just about ready to give up. It's like a war on multiple fronts.
But here's the kicker. Even with all that, the water itself isn't the final boss here. Nope. There's a silent, hidden threat that starts its attack almost immediately. And this is where the clock really, really starts ticking.
And this chart, wow, it just shows you how urgent this is. We're talking about mold, and it does not wait around. In just 24 to 48 hours, it can start to take hold. And we're not just talking about an ugly stain on the wall. This is a serious potential health hazard, and it's growing silently in all those damp, dark places the water just found.
And if that wasn't enough, the pros know you've got to identify your enemy. The entire game plan, everything they do, it all changes based on one simple question. Where did the water come from? And that question leads us to 3 totally different categories of danger.
All right, so here's the breakdown, and this is super important. Category 1 is what they call clean water. Think a broken supply line. It's, well, relatively harmless, at least at first. Then you have Category 2, gray water. This is from things like your washing machine, so it's got some contaminants in it. But Category 3, black water, now that is the real monster. We're talking sewage backup, river flooding, water that is just teeming with nasty bacteria and pathogens. Honestly, for a homeowner, this is the worst-case scenario. You can't just dry this stuff out. Anything porous, drywall, carpet, insulation, it's all considered a total loss. It has to be carefully torn out and thrown away.
Okay, so we've pretty much dissected the problem, right? We know what we're up against. Now let's flip the script and talk about the solution. What is the professional playbook for taking back control when everything feels like chaos?
It all starts with this one number, 60. Just 60. That single number pretty much dictates the entire first phase of the emergency response. It's literally the first move in the whole playbook.
Yep, 60 minutes. From the second you make that emergency call, the goal is to get a certified crew to your door within the hour. And why? Well, remember that mold clock we just talked about? It's already ticking. Speed is absolutely everything when it comes to stopping long-term damage before it starts. So, who even makes these rules? You're going to see this acronym a lot, IICRC. And if you see that logo, it means the team showing up at your house isn't just making stuff up as they go. They're not winging it. These guys know the actual science of drying, and they follow a super strict playbook. Just think of it as the gold standard for the entire industry. The whole process follows this logical 3-part attack plan, and it has to happen in this order. First up, emergency extraction. That's just getting all the standing water you can see out of there, fast. Next, and this is where it gets really high-tech and scientific, is structural drying. This is all about using technology to hunt down and kill off all that hidden moisture. And only when the house is proven to be completely dry, only then can you start the final phase, full reconstruction. Let's zoom in on that second step for a minute, because this is really where the true pros stand out. I mean, sure, they use these giant, powerful truck-mounted extractors to suck up all the bulk water, but then comes the cool, high-tech gear. They've got thermal imaging cameras that can literally see moisture hidden behind your walls, and these special moisture meters with probes that can actually check inside wood and drywall to see exactly how soaked everything is. They're not guessing here, they are gathering hard data. Okay, now we need to talk about a really crucial distinction. This is something that confuses a ton of homeowners, especially when you're trying to deal with insurance. And it's the difference between two words you'll hear a lot: mitigation and restoration. They sound similar, but they are not the same thing at all.
So let's break it down. Think of mitigation as the emergency first aid. It's all about stopping the bleeding, right? Getting the water out, setting up all the drying equipment, basically preventing the damage from getting any worse. Restoration, on the other hand, that's the full-on surgery. That's the part where they're rebuilding, replacing drywall, putting in new floors, everything it takes to get your home back to exactly how it was before. So mitigation stops the clock, but restoration actually turns it back.
All right, so once the water's gone and the house is officially dry, you hit the final phase. And this part is all about putting the pieces back together. And that'll just mean physically. We're talking financially and all that fun paperwork too. And you know, a huge part of what these professional services do is this. They're basically your translator and your go-between with the insurance company. They speak the language of insurance adjusters, which, let me tell you, is a massive weight off your shoulders when you're already stressed out. And how do they speak that language so well? With data, pure, hard evidence that they hand over to the insurance adjuster. It's not just some bill they made up. No, it's detailed moisture maps, those thermal images proving exactly where the water went, logs showing every single piece of equipment they used and for how long. All this documentation, that's the stuff that gets your claim approved fast. When you get right down to it, the entire playbook, everything from that initial 60-minute response time all the way to the final piece of paperwork, it's all driving toward one single goal: getting your home to its pre-loss condition. It's about making it like it never even happened. Taking that completely chaotic, out-of-control mess and just systematically bringing back order. So yeah, the pros are amazing. They can restore order from total chaos. But remember those underlying risks we talked about at the beginning? The old pipes, the bad soil. Those things don't just disappear. The playbook we just walked through is for when water attacks. So the final question I want to leave you with is this. Now that you really understand the enemy, what's the one thing you can do to shore up your home's defenses before you ever have to make that 60-minute emergency call?